Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the March Community Day, which is Litten, which I am kinda confused about because this Pokemon, like usually at least Niantic decides to use like the starter Pokemon like one generation throughout the year and they kinda all just spread it out. We already had a starter in the first C-Day of this year, which was the January one of course, and now we're gonna have the next one already in March. Which is interesting, as Litten going to get actually two moves, of course, here. One of them going to be Darkest Lariat, which is going to be a new move, which was already data mined as well, which you're going to take a look at right now as well. And the other one is going to be Blast Burn, as kind of always. But, yeah, otherwise, you're going to see here 3 times XP, 2 times Catch Candy, 2 times Catch XL Candy there as well, 3-hour Lures, 3-hour Incense, 1 extra special trade, and 50% Stardust cost off. Basically what we always get, but 3 times Catch XP, not really the biggest fan of it because level 50 already, but for the people that need it, kinda nice. 4-star rates, field research, basically everything that we always kinda have, showcases, and that's basically it. Here's going to be another graphic as well, really quick, from Galax, who usually does make a really great graphics here as well, on the 16th of March, by the way, so that's going to be it for this one. Again, like a lot of really good information here, very shortly put together. But here we see also the PvP heavies, if you want to be interested in this one. We're going to have here the one for Great League as well as for Ultra League. You don't need XL Candy at all for this Pokemon, and you also see here the Shiny, which you're most likely gonna see on the thumbnail as well. But let's take a look at this Pokemon for PvP. So, as you saw as well, Darkest Lariat, a 120 power move. It's going to cost you 60 energy, so you have a 2 damage per energy move, which you can take a look at here real quick as well, which is actually fairly decent for the charge moves. If you go for damage per energy, we're gonna see here a few that are a little bit higher, which are usually having the drop or chance basically, or is a little bit higher in terms of the energy that you need. If you're gonna take a look a little bit further down, we're going to see here the 2 damage per energy moves, something like Avalanche, which of course is better because you need less energy, but we're also going to have here the Darkest Lariat. Doesn't have a secondary effect as far as we know so far. But yeah, very solid move. It's actually kinda unique, I guess. Lostheart purchase a better version with it because you're gonna have like a little bit of a drop chance there, but otherwise, at least I don't really see a 120 to 60 move, so it's going to be a little bit unique. I think it's a better Outrage version basically, so going to be an interesting move. So, can Incineroar basically benefit from it or not is going to be the question here. The issue with Incineroar, like you're going to have a fire and dark type Pokemon, which is a type combination that you don't really see in Go Battle League in general, for good reasons. There are a lot of fighting type Pokemon, and there are a lot of water type Pokemon, both of them going to be very tricky for you. You're going to have here the options of fastness of Double Kick, Fire Fang as well as Snarl. This is going to be a little bit of a trickier one. Double Kick is in general the best fast move of them all. If you just don't really look at stab or whatever, then you have Fire Fang, which is going to do a lot of fast move pressure, and then you have Snarl, which is going to generate a lot of energy. And so you're going to have like 3 moves that are all kinda usable. And as charge moves, we have Blaze Kick, which got recently buffed last season for a little bit more damage, which is also the cheapest move of them all. We have Dark Pulse, which is currently like what you would use as well, which is a 50 energy, 80 damage move. We have Darkest Lariat, of course. Now we're going to have Blast Burn now, which is also what it's always been. I think it's like 110 damage or 50 energy. And you're going to have the Fire Blast, and we're going to have Flame Charge. And here's the issue for this Pokemon, and why this is not going to really help it too much, most likely, at least not in the Great League. This is the recommended moveset currently in the Great League. You would not really want to run the Fire Fang in terms of energy generation, so the best moveset that you might expect would be now Darkest Lariat, because you already have like Blaze Kick basically as some fire damaging move here. But as you're gonna see, it's going to get an average rating of 411. And if we're gonna take a look here at the Blast Burn instead, we're going to see that this is going to be a way better average rating, but it's still not going to be a great Pokemon to use for the Open Great League. So let's take a look real quick at the Ultra League as well. Yes, I guess the recommend moveset, I think it's at least, no, actually it's Double Kick, Dark Pulse, Blaze Kick, as you're gonna see here, average rating of 416. But if you're gonna take a look now how this is going to be with the Darkest Lariat, we're gonna see that it's going to increase by a little bit compared to this move. But if you're gonna put on a Blast Burn, we're gonna see it's going to actually, yeah, increased by quite a bit of like 24 average rating, and also going to be able to gain 6 more matchups. This is going to be really decent for here. Also, if you're gonna go for Snarl, we're gonna lose 1 more matchup, but you're gonna have better average rating. So it's either double kick or Snarl, and double fire moveset. And this is kind of the issue for this Pokemon in general. There is no real reason to go for Snarl and like a double fire moveset, I feel like, because you already have like other Pokemon that are going to be better with this. And so I doubt that Incineroar really going to be that great. The only thing which I could see where Incineroar would be really decent is if this Pokemon would get Incinerate, which would make sense for Incineroar, right? Incinerate, and then you're gonna go for Darkest Lariat, then you're going to hit Darkest Lariat after 3 fast moves, and Blaze Kick after 2 fast moves would be way better and would make this Pokemon actually solid for the Ultra League. And I think also for the Great League, we can take a look at this one here real quick as well. Like, if it doesn't get Incinerated, like it's not gonna be really decent. Of course, Incinerate will not be added immediately, but could be added in the future. And as you can see, this Pokemon would be not completely busted either. It's going to be very meta though, as Darkest Lariat and Blaze Kick would give it great coverage. But we don't have this yet, and so this Pokemon is currently not really that great. And we can take a look at this in the Open Great League as well. Here we're going to see here the standard moveset on the first slot, and the other moveset with Blaze Kick, Darkest Lariat, or here with the Fire Fang, here with the Snarl, here Snarl with Blast Burn, Blaze Kick. We're going to have basically the double Fire moveset again, and we're going to have double Kick, Blaze Kick, and the Blast Burn for this one, and the double Kick, Darkest Lariat, and Blaze Kick for the final one. And as you're going to see here as well, it's not really looking too great. The best moves basically look like the 4th and 5th slot, basically here, with the 5th slot most likely being the best. And if we're gonna take a look at this, it's going to be double kick, Blast Burn, and Blaze Kick actually, which is kind of interesting. Going to be the best of them all, going to be able to beat also something like Registeel, because they do a little bit more damage and you can one-shot it most likely with a Blast Burn, but it is not going to be as ideal. We can take a look now at the Ultra League as well, which is going to be the exact same moveset as we saw before. Let's see what's going to be the best one for this one here. And as you're gonna see, Incineroar going to really appreciate again the 4th as well as the 5th moveset, which is going to be the one with a Blast Burn as well as a Blaze Kick, which is going to not really give you any coverage. Again, this Pokemon would really need Incinerate, and I kind of want to take a look at Incinerate here as well again, as you can put this here basically instead of the Snarl, we can go for Incinerate here, and Incinerate going to allow us to... Oh, is it? I think it's a Blaze Kick Incinerate. Yeah, look at this. Like, Incinerate would make this Pokemon so much better. So, like, it is one fast move update away from being meta. Here would be, for example, an Ultra League team that you can currently run with this Pokemon then when it's going to be get released. But again, it's not going to be as ideal. But Cresselia Greedent does make a lot of sense. Cresselia being able to beat Fighting-type Pokemon as well as Water-type Pokemon thanks to the coverage of Grass Knot. Greedent going to be a safe swap and going to beat out potential Fighting-type Pokemon while still hitting hard with Body Slam. And, yeah, so this is going to be basically it for this moveset here. What is kind of interesting to note as well, Darkest Lariat is one of the moves that is signature move of a certain like starter Pokemon. Usually they don't really get a widely spread, but for Darkest Lariat it's actually different. This move is gonna get distributed kind of frequently throughout the series, and we're gonna see here Poliwrath would be able to learn it, which would be most likely not interesting. From a champ, you already have Payback, most likely also not too interesting there. For Snorlax, most likely not too interesting. For Swampert, might be interesting coverage, could be actually decent because Earthquake is not really that commonly used, or like that often used at least. We're going to have Electrowire, which might be interesting for this as well. Dusknoir might be interesting for this one. Crocodile would be maybe a cool Dark-type move, but a lot of the Pokemon here would not really appreciate it too much. Tapu Bulu most likely doesn't really want it. So... yeah, it does not really feel too worth it. I guess the Root would be actually a cool one because the Root has Dark Pulse as well as the Power Whip, and they both have the same energy and same, not actually same damage. Power Whip is going to do a little bit more damage, and so it would be better for the Root to have this move maybe, and the Root is going to get released soon as well, so maybe it's going to get this move then as well. But again, this move is currently not really that great and not that usable, but Incineroar is literally just one fast move away to be decent, and so maybe I would recommend you to definitely try to keep some really decent Incineroars for the community day. Again, that's going to be happening on the 16th of March, so very soon, like 2 weeks of time. And yeah, going to be a community day that's most likely going to be interesting for the future. But until then, just hold out for it. Maybe it's gonna get like also another new dark type fast move or whatever, which might be decent. But Incinerate would make this Pokemon really solid. Currently, it doesn't have it, and so this is going to be something for the future. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully, this helped you. If it did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.